Good morning to you, and welcome back to today's JRPG Weekly update. I'm SuperDerek, and we have quite a bit of news to get caught up on here, guys. I ended up taking last week off due to a confluence of things that were just conspiring against me, but oh boy, we'll catch you up on that stuff from the previous week and this week, so sit tight. This one might end up being a bit of a longer one. Let's start with Trails in the Sky, the first chapter remake, which has just gotten a huge demo released, the prologue chapter. It's a very long prologue. All of the subsequent chapters are even longer, but it's a very long prologue. Progress going to carry over. And alongside this announcement, Nihon Falcom surprised fans at Gamescom by confirming that Trails in the Sky first chapter remake is also headed to the Nintendo Switch 2 in addition to PS5 and Switch and PC. Now, that Switch 2 version will boast sharper resolutions and faster loading times, and it comes at the cost of a $1 upgrade pack for anyone grabbing it first on Switch. The Switch 2 version will be digital only though, so the physical version plus the upgrade pack seems like probably the reasonable route for us to take for the time being for Switch 2 owners who aren't necessarily interested in digital only releases, as this seems to be vastly preferable to game key cards, at least until a more suitable long-term solution can be found. The game is still on track for its September 19 worldwide launch though. I already shared my thoughts on that whole demo in my dedicated experience points video, so be sure to check that out for a spoiler-free look and gush session about the game. I'm thinking this could be Game of the Year material for me personally, though when I mentioned that, a lot of people pushed back and said it, still gotta be Expedition 33, and I'm still playing through that over on Twitch, so maybe go check me out over there. And I plan to make a full review of Expedition 33 once that has concluded. What is your take, though, on the Switch 2 upgrade route? Is that better than game key cards, or is it still kind of a deal breaker for you? Because the Switch 2 version is still essentially a download code of sorts that came with the Switch 1 version on cartridge? Or are you planning to stick with maybe the PS5 or PC, or just the basic Switch version, I suppose? What's your preference? And when Trails in the Sky SC and the third come out, I guess I'm kind of curious, are they going to be able to do the same thing? Well, hopefully whenever that happens, Nintendo will have sorted out their game key card situation and come up hopefully with a better solution for third-party publishers to release their games. I've got a very much longer video talking about that, which you can watch if you missed it somehow last time. Let's talk about some game delays that were announced, really just the one though. It's Ys versus Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga. This is a crossover fighter that has unfortunately been delayed past its original summer 2025 release window with a new date of to be determined. The developers have promised more details and a new trailer in the coming months. So yeah, I suppose that, as summer kind of winds down and we weren't really hearing anything, this probably isn't a huge surprise to anybody who has been following this game for a while, but you don't love to see it. You kind of hate it. So, I'll keep you guys updated as soon as we find out a new release window. Next up, we got a bunch of major releases announced here, starting with Tales of Xillia Remastered. This is the beloved 2011 entry in Bandai Namco's long-running Tales of series that is making a comeback in October, on October 31st, in fact. It's known for its dual protagonist story and flashy real-time combat. The remaster will feature HD visuals, story, DLC, and other quality of life tweaks, and I believe it is this title's first outing on PC. X Proud Nordics has got a Western release announcement. Falcom's high-speed action RPG takes Adol Kristen to the seas in the Northern Isles, blending exploration, ship battles, and lightning-fast swordplay. This enhanced edition adds a new story arc and challenging dungeon, and will be launching in the West in early 2026. We've known about this one for a while. This enhanced re-release was announced on the tail, hot on the tail of the release of the original here in the West, which I know that stung for a lot of people. If you held out for whatever reason, that may pay off if you're willing to wait just a few more months, it seems. Lost Souls aside, finally, after 13 years in development, Ulta Zero's Unreal Engine 5 action RPG finally launches on August 29th with cinematic visuals, stylish combo-driven combat, and a protagonist accompanied by a ship-shifting dragon companion. The vibe is said to mix Devil May Cry with Chinese fantasy, and yeah, I remember this one being announced a long time ago. 13 years in development. Moving along, we have Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Square Enix is reviving the legendary Tactics RPG with full graphic overhaul, voice-acted scenes, and new quality of life options, while retaining its deep grid-based strategy gameplay. A classic mode keeps things faithful for purists, and it's going to be launching on September 30th of this year. So I know a lot of people have been very excited about that, and if you're into Tactics RPGs, we've got a couple other announcements that may be up your alley. But before that, we have the Telenet RPG Collection Volume 1. It's going to be a nostalgic bundle for retro enthusiasts. It's a Switch exclusive. It's going to be reviving 3 obscure 1980s action RPGs from Telenet Japan. You can expect top-down dungeon crawling, primitive but charming combat, and a taste of early JRPG history. It's coming out on November 27, but it's, as of right now, a Japan exclusive. It would be really cool to see this come to the West, just to kind of get some, early history and re-experience more of the roots than just Dragon Quest again. That would be so great. Woochi the Wayfarer is a new single-player Korean action fantasy action adventure title by Nexon and Lore Vault. It's inspired by the Joseon era of folklore. It's going to be coming out on PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC. Its release date, though, has yet to be announced. We'll cover that at a future date. Swords of Legends is a single-player action RPG based on Chinese mythology and part of the long-running Gujian franchise. I'm probably butchering words here. Been developed by Aragon, and it will be the first game in the series to launch simultaneously in China and the rest of the world. And also, it's the first time that they're doing something single player and offline. They're doing their Black Myth Wukong, maybe. Keep your eyes peeled for this one. It's pretty exciting because this is actually a really long-running series. They make quality games from what I hear. Talked to with Baku during our Hit Point JRPG podcast. Platforms and release date are TBD. Next up, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is getting released here on the Xbox, including Yuffie's episode. It's headed to the Xbox Series and PC this winter, making its first debut Xbox release. Also noteworthy coming to the Xbox is Triangle Strategy, which is available now, and I think it's also on PS5 right now as well. That just kind of shadow dropped. It's wild to me, though, to hear that Triangle Strategy released on Oculus Quest or Meta Quest first before coming to an Xbox. That's pretty wild. But I did actually talk about my time with that game. You could check it out over here. Definitely a lot of fun. VR was definitely a unique way to experience it. I'd like to take a little bit of time to spotlight some indie RPG news here that's also been going on in the craziness over the last, Gamescom. I wanted to start off with Something Classics. Quartet is finally launching August 26 on PC via Steam, Good Old Games, and Epic. It's a love letter to SNES-era JRPGs with 4 storylines that interweave with each other, each with their own mechanics and vibes. And speaking of vibes, I got to try it out, and the vibes are strong. The demo is still live right now, and the release price will only be $20. This one is shaping up to be, I think it's going to be a sleeper hit. I think y'all are going to be really surprised by this one. Next up, let's talk a little bit about Grey Heritage Noble Duty. It's coming out on September 15 to PC. Grey Heritage is a strategy RPG prequel to Fated Vision. It's got medieval tactics maps, branching strategy, and old school Fire Emblem kind of energy. It's being developed by B-Train Studio. This one's been quietly building up a niche following among retro SRPG fans. Next up, we have HYKE Northern Lights. It's going to be launching on September 18 on PC, Switch, and PS5. This is a 2D top-down action RPG. It is adorable, stylish. It looks like it's got a quick pace here. Developed by Blast Edge Games with Akatsuki and Aniplex backing. It's got anime flair, elemental combat, and it looks like some sort of actually kind of cozy vibes on occasion. It's dropping at a pretty friendly price of just $27.99. Now here's one that I've been waiting for news on for a good long while, Kingdoms of the Dump. I've actually got to talk to the developers when I attended MagFest last year. These guys are super cool, but I've been following them, gosh, for ages now. I remember watching Daria Plays RPG talk about how she was excited for this game when she was still active on YouTube. So it's been a while. But finally, after years of grassroots buzz, this trash-themed SNES-style RPG, Kingdoms of the Dump, is finally getting a release window in November of 2025 on PC. You can expect quirky grid-based combat, tongue-in-cheek writing, and a loving retro pastiche from Roach Games. Made by real janitors. Next up, let's talk about Forge of the Fae. I actually got to interview these developers over on the Hitpoint JRPG podcast. David from Datadyne. Man, he's got a solid vision for this game. It's being developed by Datadyne Inc., and the big news here is that they were just picked up by Deck 13 Spotlight. You might know them as the publishers of Chained Echoes, not the physical version, but the digital release, as well as Crosscode, I believe, and it will be bringing Forge of the Fae to PC and console in 2027. It's a lush, Irish folklore-inspired JRPG with turn-based combat and a demo already on Steam. Next up, we have Beaten Path, a tactical RPG from Peace Break Studio that just hit its Kickstarter on August 20th with a $20,000 goal. It is planned for 2026 on PC. This pitch leans into a grittier kind of character drama and tactical combat. Early backers can pledge as little as $18 with stretch goals promising deeper systems and content. Moving along, NIS America is going to be localizing Starbites from Ikina Games for early 2026 on PC, Switch, and Switch 2. It's a sci-fi RPG with desert planets, survival vibes, and animal cast flair. It's first shown off at TGS as Taste of the Desert, but it is now confirmed for the West with full platform support. Next up, we have Lost Hellden. It's from Quali and Artisan Studios, showing off a new gameplay trailer this week. It's going to be due later in 2025, coming to PS5 and the Xbox Series and Switch and PC. It mixes a painterly aesthetic with action strategy, RPG combat, and a story of twins bound by the seven sins. Sounds pretty interesting. Edge of Memories from Nacon and Midgar Studios. It's an anime-style RPG, dropping a fresh trailer. They dropped that on August 22nd, but they also delayed the game to 2026. It has been targeting PS5 and Xbox Series and PC, promising dramatic story beats and a gorgeous anime presentation when it finally does land. Fantasy Maiden Wars. It's from Toho. Toho fans may rejoice now. Fantasy Maiden Wars Dream of the Stray Dreamer is finally coming out in English. Zambando's strategy RPG hits Steam worldwide on October 21st of 2025. You can expect Toho's colorful cast battling it out in grid-based battle with lovingly fan-made flair. This week in SuperDerek news, I have been playing a lot of games for review and then been working on keeping up with the onslaught of the new awesome. This week kicked off with my first impressions of the Trails in the Sky first chapter demo, which is now available to everyone on PC and PS5, and so far I gotta say that this one has been everything that I really had hoped that it could be. Go check it out yourself, go watch the video if you just want to see the dedicated gush fest over there, or try out the demo yourself. In my opinion, it seems like they're just doing everything right. The next video that I released was a first impressions of The Girl from Arcania, which is a Zelda-like, kinda like the Minish Cap, I think, in terms of visuals, but with even more combat options and local co-op, a humorous dynamic with a capybara, beer, and cheese. So I would definitely recommend it to anyone looking to scratch that action-adventure itch. Now, back on Wednesday on my Twitch channel, we actually got to try out the full game of Quartet, for a few hours at least, and I made it through one of the first chapters, this one covering the story of Alex, which was a load of fun. Now, I can't release my full thoughts on the game just yet, but look forward to a first impressions video maybe on Monday or so, if all goes well. Otherwise, Expedition 33 and Metaphor ReFantasio playthroughs on Twitch have been progressing along, but I did take a break from Dragon Quest VI this week so I could catch up on some video production. This is shaping up to be a very wild time, and I hope that you're all as excited as I am, because fall is going to be even crazier. We got some more industry news here coming from Final Fantasy XIV and Monster Hunter Wilds. They're doing a collaboration cross event launching in October with themed monsters, quests, and gears from both games. Kind of doing a little cross promotion there. That's super cool. Next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, which had hit 500,000 sales so far. It was out back in June. Marvelous revealed this week, or was it last week, that it has crossed the 500,000 unit mark worldwide, making it the fastest selling Rune Factory yet. Now, let's move along to our JRPG Weekly forecast, starting with on August 26th, aka my birthday. Quartet is launching day one for $20. Quartet is a retro-style JRPG with 4 interweaving narratives, optional co-op, and a demo already live. It is a perfect throwback RPG for fans of the 16-bit golden age of RPGs. And then on the 27th, we've got Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. This next farming sim RPG arrives with a twist, a bustling bazaar economy. It's coming out on August 27th. Players will be able to farm, trade, and socialize in one of the series' most community-driven entries yet. It's coming again to Switch and Switch 2 and PC. And then also on August 27, we have Death End Request Code Z coming to PC. That's Compile Heart's dark roguelite dungeon crawler spinoff. That's going to be hitting Steam on August 27. You can expect twisted storylines, heavy anime aesthetics, and punishing dungeon runs. Also on the 27th, we have Varlet, that's coming to PS5 and Switch and PC, coming out worldwide a day earlier than planned. In fact, this school life RPG will be blending visual novel storytelling with turn-based battles. You could think of it kind of like a Persona Light with heavy doses of indie flair. And then on the 27th, Super Robot Wars Y is coming out for PS5 and Switch and PC. The newest tactical mecha crossover packs fan favorites like Gundam and Mazinger, and new DLC that was already announced. Strategy fans should be getting ready to sink hundreds of hours into this game. On the 29th, we have Lost Souls Aside coming to PS5 and PC. Finally, after more than a whole decade in development, this action RPG is landing. It's flashy, and it should be a little bit like Devil May Cry. Yeah, I think this one turned out to be a pretty long JRPG Weekly update, even though I tried to speed through a lot of it. There's so much going on, and there is more on the way. So get subscribed so you don't miss it when we do talk about more news and more of those reviews coming down the pipeline. Go check me out over on Hit Point. Get subscribed over there so you'll see when those podcast episodes are recorded live. Maybe you can even ask the developers some questions of your own, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a great day, everyone.